So apparently Biden's lawyers are getting involved and they're questioning the results of the Iowa caucuses overall.
So wait, John, didn't you have an update on that? Yeah, Biden's lawyers saying that what?
Yes, so I don't know if it was specifically from the lawyers. It was marked as a campaign statement saying that effectively, because of the concerns that have been raised by the Democratic Party, no official results should be released until the Biden campaign has had time to talk with them and put out a statement.
Yeah. Hell no. Release the results right now. It's obvious that the candidates know because Biden's depressed and trying to hide the results, and Bernie's overjoyed. They know what the results are. Release them right now. Because what this does is it totally screws over the winner. It appears that the winner is Bernie Sanders, but we don't know. So what did it do? It ruined the night that he would have celebrated and gotten tremendous press attention for a win in the first state. Instead, all the headlines are, no one knows who won, the Democrats are idiots, there's a massive glitch, and we can't tell you who won. So it's not in prime time, it's not tonight. We don't know when it's going to be revealed. And now Biden's team is saying, no, you should hide that for a long, long time. So whoever won, and it appears to be Bernie, doesn't get any of the press that's associated with winning Iowa. Now, winning Iowa, as Ben pointed out earlier in the night, is just 41 delegates, and they don't even go to the winner. They get split up. So the delegates isn't the relevant part of Iowa. The press that you get out of it is the relevant part of Iowa, and they just ruin that for the winner. Congratulations. It's absolutely, utterly unacceptable. And the second thing that happens is, on that night, whoever wins gives a dramatic speech that a lot of people watch. And they go, and it's a victorious speech, it's great. Bernie gave a speech, it looked like he won, and he seemed overjoyed. But did everybody go to that speech? Here's the winner of Iowa. No, when it's revealed either at 10 in the morning tomorrow or 3 days from now, if Biden's lawyers win, will Bernie Sanders get to make a speech that the whole country watches? No, by definition, they've already at least ruined some percentage of the gain that the winner would have had. It's not to say, oh, well, nothing matters and it's wiped away and Bernie won't get any credit if he won. No, he'll get credit and people will talk about it eventually. But did they take away some percentage of people who would have seen it and some percentage advantage that he would have had if they'd done it right? Of course they did. Of course they did. And by the way, look, I don't think that there's a conspiracy. I think that they're idiots. And Ben read a story from the Des Moines Register from 4 days ago where they said, oh, we're not gonna tell you who designed the app. That might jeopardize them. No, you morons. That's called transparency, so we can verify results. So I don't think it's conspiratorial, okay? But Bernie Sanders did have the DNC rig the election against him last time. I don't mean in the voting. I mean in all the things they did about the debates and the questions and the money funneling from the states, et cetera. And that's a well-known fact. It's acknowledged by everyone. We have the internal emails. In a context like that, when you screw over Bernie Sanders again, do you think that maybe people might get angry about that?
Real quick, there's an update. So Li Fong, reporter at The Intercept, tweets, 3 different sources say a firm called Shadow developed the Iowa
great, Shadow.
Yeah, developed the Iowa it's out of a movie, it's a crazy caucus app. They haven't responded to comment, neither has Iowa Democratic Party. The firm was paid by both Nevada and Iowa Democratic Party, disclosures show, also by Mayor Pete's campaign.
Oh my God, are you kidding me?
Well, just
no. Listen.
Okay.
If anything was paid by Bernie Sanders' campaign, it would never be acceptable. Do I trust the Democratic Party leadership? Let me be super clear. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And that's not how elections work. Hey, don't worry. I contracted with the Shadow company, and I'm not going to tell you who it is. And I might have used Robbie Mook to verify it, who was Hillary Clinton's chief of staff last time, who despises Bernie Sanders, and it might have had something to do with another one of the candidates' campaigns. But don't worry, just trust us. We don't trust you. We don't trust you, and you haven't earned our trust. And if Bernie won tonight, you half ruined it for him. So, and then you'll say, oh, don't get upset, don't get upset. Just, hey, take all of your screwing and like it, and hey, maybe we'll do it again in New Hampshire. Emma Vigeland in Des Moines at Bernie headquarters.
Yeah, no, I
I have to ask you, because look, I agree with you. The origins of this app are extremely shady. But say the roles were reversed and we thought Joe Biden had won. Would we be saying just release the results now? I mean, and the Bernie campaign wanted some sort of audit or a way to craft a statement because they thought that there might have been some interference. I just want us to be fair here, because I think it's understandable that the Biden campaign might have some concerns.
Yeah, Emma, that's a fair point.
Yeah.
On the other hand, if you hide the results for 3 days, you get nothing out of the Iowa win. You get nothing out of it.
Look, I think for me at least, my frustration is all about the app, right? So I don't blame the Biden camp for saying what they're saying, and I would feel the same way, right?
I understand.
So I get it. And so we do want to be fair, absolutely. But the problem is the lack of transparency when it comes to the app developers, who is potentially behind the app, who potentially pays for the app or is financially involved in the app. Like, that is the big question here. This isn't a joke.
Let's also bear in mind, we've potentially gotten way ahead of ourselves. The Biden campaign has requested time.
Right.
They have not been given that time. They haven't been given 2 hours.
They've been given this.
I know,
but
I'm saying
12:17 on the East Coast.
I understand that. We have no idea what is resulting in the delay. It could be entirely unconnected to the Biden thing. And also, like the 4th place finisher requesting a delay is obviously going to be countered by the 3 people ahead of him who are going to be pushing for it, including Buttigieg, who we're saying might have been involved in all this. So let's just bear all that in mind. I know we're frustrated, but we're not 3 days later without any results.
We don't actually even know if it was the app. We don't know what it was, right? We don't know what the process is. Here's the thing that will, I'll just not calm you down. So
okay, before you get to setting me off again, let me just be clear, okay? Look, I don't think that Biden is not within his rights to ask for clarity. He is definitely within his rights to ask for clarity. And you have to find a balancing ground between getting clarity to all the candidates and being absolutely sure what the results actually are, and not delaying too much in releasing the results, because that again defeats the point of winning Iowa, which is not about delegates, it's about press. And I'm not saying that Buttigieg, since he helped pay for the app, rigged the app. We have no evidence to that effect. But it sets up an appearance of a conflict of interest that is obviously unacceptable, which then is made way worse when the Des Moines Register asked the people running the election in Iowa who made the app, and they say, we won't tell you. Then we find out if it's true, and The Intercept is reporting that Buttigieg's campaign partly paid for the app. That makes you hiding who paid for it a million times worse. And there doesn't have to be cheating for all of that to already be disastrous, because you erode faith in the system when you do that.
There's no way, I mean, credit to the Buttigieg camp if they helped pay for the app. You'd think there was a system that would prevent one of the campaigns for helping to pay for the app. That cannot be true.
It's
to a degree bigger than the LA Times would have had to cover that story.
No, it seems unbelievable. I agree with you, Ben. I mean, so read the quote about Buttigieg campaign again.
There was also a follow-up tweet to it.
Okay.
So I'm going to read the original tweet. Again, this is from Lee Fong, great journalist from The Intercept. 3 different sources say a firm called Shadow developed the Iowa Democratic Caucus app. They haven't responded to comment, neither has Iowa Democratic Party. The firm was paid by both Nevada and Iowa Democratic Party, disclosures show. So it looks like he looked at disclosures. Also by Mayor Pete's campaign. Then in a follow-up tweet.
Oh my God.
In a follow-up tweet. Nevada Dem federal account paid Shadow $58,000 in August. Iowa Dem state account paid Shadow $63,183 in 2 payments over November and December, suggesting app wasn't developed until just months ago. Both caucus states. Shadow is a spin-off from Pacronym, a new Dem dark money super PAC hybrid.
Oh my God, for God's sake. We're letting super PACs count the votes? No, if that's true, and The Intercept has an excellent record, if that's true, it is insanity on top of insanity.
Let's just because I feel the need just to be overly cautious in pumping the brakes, because there's been a lot of stuff that's been reported as 100% true that now is just gonna go down as everyone's gonna remember it that way. That's not true. if we are scrambling to look at financial disclosures, it's not to say that it's not still dirty, but it's entirely possible that these three groups have paid this company, but not necessarily for the same thing. It's possible that they have made payments to the company, but not for the app. A disclosure doesn't necessarily disclose exactly what they were working on.
This is why when the newspapers actually do a good job and ask you who designed the app, which by the way, they should have asked you 4 months ago, but they asked 4 days ago, you can't say, it's not allowed to say, I'm not gonna tell you. And then we find out it's a super PAC, or it's Buttigieg, or no one knows. Emma, back in Bernie headquarters.
I just really have to clarify, because this is not the end-all be-all reporting of the results. I talked to a few precinct captains, and they all said they're recording their results on paper as well. This only affects what you're saying, Cenk, is the press coverage of this. But I don't want us to get so, I know it's everything, but at the end of the day, if Bernie won Iowa, he won Iowa, and he was gonna win New Hampshire. So I want us to be clear-headed here, because there's a backup method for recording this. This was just an expedient way. It's shady as hell, but it doesn't mean that we're not gonna get the full results at the end of this. And in an already convoluted process, to put an app on top of this is idiocy, and another way that the Democratic Party is basically funneling money to these needless consultants, this needless sexy app, all of this stuff. It doesn't make any sense, but it doesn't mean that Bernie's kneecaps by this.
I understand, guys, I understand. And I love all the perspectives that everyone is giving. And Emma's right, and I don't want you guys to panic. There is, and we reported this earlier in the night, there are paper recordings of the vote. So hopefully they will get those, and they will have I say hopefully, a very accurate count, but these are the same buffoons running this campaign in this epic debacle. So I can't say with great certainty that you'll have great certainty in the results. So I don't have certainty, but yes, overall, I'm not nearly as worried about what is the actual result. I'm not, and I've said this now multiple times, overly worried about it being rigged or anyone cheating or Buttigieg saying, oh, okay, make sure you twist the app so that it's in my favor. I'd still be, maybe I'm naive, but I'd still be shocked by that. I'm not saying any of that. I'm saying you don't get it. The whole point of Iowa is, ta-da, this person won.
I'm just saying.
And when you take that away, you haven't taken away everything. No, of course not. But you've taken away a huge part of why it's important to win Iowa. And so this is the 100th time in a row that a progressive candidate has gotten screwed. And so this might be a total fluke. And in fact, I think it's likely a fluke. But it's frustrating. It's frustrating that all of these go against us. And then when you find out on top that the app was designed or created by potentially Democratic super PACs and one of the other candidates in the race, you set up a situation that is a tinderbox. So don't be surprised when it blows. So what you did was you put in the question in people's minds about whether elections are legitimate or not because of the shady, stupid way that you handled this.
Well, I just think you might be right, but this is such a big story now that it could actually create a bigger story to who wins it, especially if they're able to take advantage of it. So just don't be overwhelmed by the failure of expectation. The failure of expectation is it drives everything in how we react to sports. It is, I think, driving the reaction here. As you expected this big speech and this win tonight, you didn't get it. I think something else is likely to happen because this is not a story that's going to go away at midnight tonight. There's going to be a gigantic story, and maybe the story will be totally about the peculiarities of it and not about the winner. That's possible, and then it'll hurt, but it'll hurt the winning campaign. But as John said, there was more than one campaign that's going to be pleased with the results tonight, right? Real quick, the thing that'll continue to make you angry. The lack of results in the Iowa caucus so far has led to a confusion online and on television networks, I'm sorry to hear that, which are used to having some reported results by this point in the night from the New York Times. Democratic officials said that the delay was largely because of a party effort to do, quote, quality control on the results before they were made public. This could include comparing final results to presidential preference cards, as well as the final results to check-in numbers. Politico quotes one Iowa official, the whole system largely broke. But that little line there, I read that line and I thought, there's Democratic officials saying, oh, hold on, we got to do some quality control here.
Oh, Bernie won? We got to do quality control.
Which would also mean that if that's the case, then nothing was wrong with it.
Can I add one quote?
Right.
At the risk of possibly making you madder, which I'm trying to avoid. On CBS News, Ed O'Keefe said that part of the delay was as a result of new rules that were put into place to add more transparency after the 2016 race. Quote, what is happening tonight is exactly what Bernie Sanders asked for.
Oh,
wow.
shut up.
Wow.
Who wrote that? Who said that?
That's Ed O'Keefe. Maybe he means he wanted to win and that is what's happening tonight. Exactly what he asked for.
A CBS reporter?
It
so
is.
now not only does it screw over Bernie Sanders,
CBS News
mainstream media reports it as it's Bernie Sanders' fault. He had it coming. He wanted transparency. No, wait. Like, again, no legitimate question ever gets answered. So when I read what Ben just read to all of us, Democratic Party officials wanted to do quality control. Obvious question, was this planned? So no matter who won, would you have come in and done quality control and not let people know today? Or was this something you decided to do because there was a glitch? Or was this something you decided to do a day ago when you saw the last poll? When did you decide to do quality control and not release the results as happens every single year that there's an Iowa caucus?
I mean, look, there's so many frustrating parts of what's happening tonight. But I do want to share this because this is the kind of stuff that Trump, I think, will successfully use to his advantage, and he's already doing it. Trump campaign manager Brad Pascrell says Democrats are stewing in caucus mess of their own creation with the sloppiest train wreck in history. It would be natural for people to doubt the fairness of the process, and these are the people who want to run our entire healthcare system.
So now they go to that. Look, we'll go back to what we started with. It is totally unacceptable to not have a national system that has a verified process that everyone has agreed to ahead of time, and that could be double checked with paper ballots. In this case, they do have paper ballots, but they obviously didn't have a system in place that could be verified. In fact, they hid who did the app in the first place that does the counting. And now we find out all these different things in the fog of war, if you will, in terms of who might have done the app. And this should not be negotiable, and it should not be up to local officials going, trust us, we got this. No, you don't have it. We've said it 1,000 times that we don't have it, you don't have it. But they go, nope, you're not allowed to interfere. We're just gonna bungle it on our own. We told you ahead of time, and here it is. They bungled it again. So frustrating. And then when we do get frustrated, you know what the mainstream media will do? They'll say, oh, there goes the Sanders supporters, getting loud on social media. Well, ruffians. Why don't they just take getting screwed again for the 100th time in a row and like good champs? No, we're not gonna tell people who won Iowa. Sad day for you. Thanks for watching the Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.